Hear that? The Avengers are here. It don't matter though. Yone won't die. No, no, no.
Hello everyone, it's been a while, but as I was getting the rust off, I encountered Llstylish in solo queue. Although I have seen some smaller streamers here and there, this was the first time I had gone up against a big streamer, and I thought to myself, as an educational creator, what better content to find than a game versus one of the best Zed players. So in today's video, I will be breaking down my match against him, and at the same time, a Zed guide. Zed was my worst nightmare since I was bronze up till I was masters, but only recently I finally understood how to play well, and I wanted to make a video to help you guys out too. I always just thought I can't do anything if he pokes me, but then if I try to poke him, he gets away and pokes me. And as I got better, I have come to a different perspective, and if you look at things like in high elo, like P-Zang versus Z99, you'll see that it is actually not a super hard matchup. A quick note before we begin though, I haven't uploaded or streamed in a while, but all that stuff is sorted out now. I will be getting back to streaming as soon as the new season starts, and I will be uploading right now. Also, do make sure to like and subscribe. I may not be challenger, but if you are learning Yone or struggling against Zed, I assure that you'll learn something from this. And if you want to see another matchup, do leave them in the comments, and I will start collecting clips for them and start working on all of them. And before we get into the game, here are 4 interactions that are important to know when you are playing against Zed. These interactions will be seen in this game, so let's get into them. First of all, using ult when he ults. I'm sure it is common knowledge by now, if you have like some experience in League, that Zed always ends up behind you after casting ult. Using this idea, you can instantly cast ult backwards to hit him after he casts R. If timed correctly, this is undodgeable as there is a 0.5 second delay in recasting R for Zed, so he cannot go back to his shadow to dodge R. In the clip though, I reacted a bit slow and I'm lazy to redo it, but do try to do it as soon as Zed ults if you choose to do so. However, this is only acceptable if Zed has not already placed W elsewhere. I will get into Zed's W and Yone and ult interaction later, but since Zed can instantly switch places with his W shadow, he is able to dodge your ult if he has already casted W, even if you ult the moment he ults. Next up, casting Q3 when Zed ults. This is another interaction with Zed's ult where you wait a short interval before casting Q3. This still has to be aimed backwards. Actually, no, it doesn't. It can be aimed anywhere, but is easy to accomplish as it has a high fault tolerance rate. Since touching Yone in any way during Q3 airbornes the opponent, it's the same logic as to why Yone's Q flash works. In comparison, this is true because Zed will be airborne before he can cast anything, meaning he cannot dodge this in any way. Yone's R and Zed's W. If you are able to get an ult angle where Zed and his shadow is in the same line, Zed will not be able to dodge it with his W. This is because Yone's ult is considered to be a flash and not a dash. So that means that it is impossible to go over with W during R's cast. And lastly, it's the idea of dragging Zed's R with your E. This is probably the most commonly seen and known idea. So there are 2 variations of this, where you either drag Zed with you, or wait for him to get out of his ultimate. You can choose them either, or depending on what you're trying to accomplish, but it is generally useful to render his ult useless. Now, all of these above interactions will be seen in this in the game I played against Llstylish, so I will make sure to mention them if I am using them. With that out of the way, let's get into the actual game. So, I do want to say though that Llstylish has been one of my favorite Zed creators since I started playing. I remember watching some of his montages and YouTube videos. But if you watch his stream replay, it is quite clear that he is tilted and probably not playing his best on that day of the stream when he played against me. However though, it is still a really great honor for me to play against him as someone that hasn't even hit Grandmaster before yet. So I do hope to face him again sometime, maybe in Challenger. So yay, go me. There isn't much to talk about in terms of runes. Zed is taking very standard Electrocute runes, and I'm taking very standard Yone runes. Only thing worth talking about here is that I have second wind and not bone plating. It's not uncommon to see bone plating being taken against Zed, but personally I feel like it gets poked off too easily. But this is just my personal preference, of course, and you are more than welcome to pick whatever you please. For summoner spells, Zed is taking Ignite plus TP, which is probably easier to deal with than Flash TP or Flash Ignite. You can take Ignite, but in higher elos, I prefer to just take Flash TP as default. I don't think summoner spells contribute much to how the lane is played. Maybe just TP Ignite is slightly easier for you to deal with, since you have a gap closing ability to space him, and like more chances of survival, I suppose. Let's quickly talk about laning theory versus Zed before we see an application of it. So in essence, it's not very difficult. Pretty much Zed needs to snowball with kills to like one-shot everyone, and if you go even with him, it's pretty difficult for him because you always outscale Zed. Like if you're side laning him, you'll always win. So you don't even need to kill him to win the lane, you just need to go even. But the general way that you want to play it is that level 1 to 2, you want to oppress him very hard and create a slow push onto him. This is because you really just want to make sure that we hit 3. We will be seeing this later. And after level 3, it's really just dodging WEQ combo with E if you deem that it is necessary to do so, and to look to punish him during his WCD. Really, whether you win or lose is simply determined by how much or how well you play the above. Of course, this is the big problem, so let's take a look. Getting to lane now, I wanted to place a ward there, but since Garner started Raptors, there was no need to place that ward. The first thing we do is hit the minions a couple times to ensure that we are pushing faster than Zed. This is so we are always able to hit 3 before he does. Then make sure to pressure every minion that Zed tries to take. In this game, it seems that he underestimated level 1 lethal Yone and dies for it.
Our will. I'm lagging, what the fuck? What the hell is that, by the way? I'm dead. What was that? I was trying to auto attack him and my character stood still for like 2 minutes. Cheek shock!
So we quickly shove the wave and TP back to lane. We are going to be rushing Borg this game, so double daggers is a great start for us. Getting back to lane, we start pressuring him again, and after hitting level 3, we pretend to back off and go in to punish him because he wants that cannon. Being down a level this early instantly gets him down to lethal range. After Zed uses W, I should just flash Q onto him, but I think I was a bit nervous and didn't think about things right. I actually had a lot of chances to flash onto him in this game, but it's fine. Having E back up, I tried to EQ into him, thinking that he would just W away, but I underestimate Zed's damage and die for it. This was already a risky play, but I should have instead used W first, so I can instantly E back or get him to use W, thinking it's Q3. In my opinion though, it's not the end of the world if you die to Zed in lane, but anything more than 2 deaths starts making the game really hard for you, especially in lane, because one mistake gets you to lethal range and he just all-ins in you after that. Coming back to lane though, I get ganked by Skarner, I could have flashed the Q, but for some reason I thought it wasn't going to hit me. and coming back again, I have a great spot for the wave. The next wave is a cannon wave, so I make sure to freeze it. However, we do have to keep in mind that Zed is level 6. This is apparent because we had missed a lot of XP, and the fact that he is choosing to stay signifies this. The chances of Sona roaming or Skarner coming again is very unlikely. And here Zed randomly walks up to us for no reason. He should be backing off after using W. So it's clear that he is baiting us to go in on him. And after getting into range, don't immediately Q, but wait for him to use W first. After getting this kill, I feel like it was actually quite deep in terms of theory, so let's break it down. At first, I thought I should be kiting towards his turret instead of just standing still, which isn't wrong, but this led to the mistake of almost letting him live. So the general idea is that when you are chasing Zed with Q3 and his ult up, you should try to hold it so that he either loses patience or is forced to use R because of his HP being too low. However, in this case, I decided to risk it because from my experience, it was not enough damage. But then this entire thought process was wrong, because one more auto attack would have meant that the E mark would have executed Zed. For some reason, the fact that Yone does E damage just went completely over my head. I guess I was too focused on just trying to kill him or something. I have no clue. But if we come back to this clip, our auto attack is 60 with our normal blade, 63 with demon blade, 63 AP damage, and 33 AD because of his MR and armor differences, and a 17 bonus with lethal temple when we had it fully stacked. And if we add that all together and do some quick math, this means that Zed would be surviving. So if we wanted Zed dead, there were two possible occurrences here. If we and that is to auto attack him by getting into his range, or somehow getting into his range and using Q3. So if we chose to keep running at him for an auto attack, he would be left with 18 HP without E, meaning that 1 E, which stores 25% post mitigation damage at level 1 or 1 point, would be enough to kill the 15 HP Zed. However, this was the case. It would be quite risky because either Zed ults you right before E duration runs out, so you are dragged back, or you flash auto attack, which he can ult during auto attack windup, leaving Zed to survive. The other method is if we Q into Zed, like in the video. Even if Zed ults us, we will have 1.58 seconds left. You can see this on the bottom of the screen. Zed takes 0.35 seconds to show after casting R, meaning we have 1.23 seconds to kill him. More than enough time to auto attack Zed once as soon as he shows, and it's enough damage to execute with E. Of course, in a real game, no one would be able to process all this in the 5 seconds that happened, but I just thought it was interesting and that the general rule isn't always the best implementation. But at the very least, I don't think there is a rare situation, or I don't think this is a rare situation to see in a real game, so it might be better to play like this if your Q3 is running out like mine was, and your E is also running out.
I think 6, maybe I can outplay this. This wave is disgusting. Even right. I'm dead actually, he's playing this right. I was hoping he trolls it. I had to ult instantly.
Moving on now, seeing Zed go upwards, we try to follow him, but he ends up getting sandwiched, and we punish him hard for WCD. Oh, another point here to mention is that you can ult Zed if you are standing at max range Yonar, because your R range is bigger than his. But here I wasn't sure if he had W or not, so I didn't do it immediately. And you would W first to see if he would swap shadows. And so technically we are baiting him here. And Zed's intentionally gets into our Q range to bait us so he can ult us, because he wants us to go in on him so Skarner can do stuff too. So we drag away from Skarner instead while waiting for an E cooldown. I'm not very certain of my damage, which is why I didn't just Q in and then ult backwards for the kill, because if Skarner like does something, shoves us away or something, whatever could have happened there, it might have been bad for us. It was a lot safer to just simply wait for E cooldown. Now we can run up to him with Q3 and instantly R backwards to execute him with E. But you'll see that I still W first to try and bait his R. And this secures another 2 kills for us. Eventually though, it gets to a point where people just start playing passive once they determine that they probably can't win the 1v1 because of goal differences. So I just slow push and they gets back to lane and uses W in a pretty interesting place because I'm way too close to him for him to be using W. So I just go in with E to punish, and it turns out that he was looking to all-in me with his full item advantage. So we do the other where we wait for Zed to appear first. Sadly for him, Hecarim is there and red buff just burns him just enough to kill him. Going back now, we get Bork and the game is very much over for Zed. We walk up with E to try and bait W while going for plates. Since he knows he can't kill, he chooses to just shove the wave, and we turn on him and chunk the majority of his HP. And generally speaking, Zed players will not base because Zed does have a lot of potential for outplaying their turret. We do the same thing as before, since I am in his face. I guess it was harder for him to react to Q3. Using the R and W interaction, we found the angle where Zed and his W is in a straight line and we R him, which is guaranteed to hit. Now if he had simply used R when I casted R or before I casted R, he would most likely live, and because of the clip I showed you guys earlier where he can dodge my R by just using W. However, it was a random gamble and we just got lucky there. Instead though, I should have just auto-attacked him for the kill and not used R since he was airborne. But hey, we did some bullshit and it makes me look like an insane player, so I won't complain too much. Luck is a factor, although not significant. There isn't much to say here. Skarner just got greedy for holding R and I lived because of it. At this point, the game is just over. Later on, I died a couple of times, like 4 men touching me, but we still won. Of course, I didn't play this game perfectly in any way, but I thought it was significant because it showcased every interaction between Yone and Zed, plus it's Llstylish versus random ass Yone player, so yay me! Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for today. I feel like this is definitely more educational and detailed than some of my videos where I just break down everything that happens in a 1v1 or the laning phase. Let me know what you think of this. I don't know if this is better or you prefer some other guys. You guys prefer some other stuff. Thanks for watching though. Make sure to like and subscribe. And bye bye.